welcome back to Inner Peace Place. This is lesson 17B. I divided one of the chapters up, chapter 17, because it had so much information that I felt like we needed to chew on it a little bit longer. Emotionless Living. So, the premise of all of this play or work is that when we make decisions in this moment, we're using a connection to our higher self. So we're not using the past. If we make decisions in the past, from past experiences, that's the personality self. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but our goal is to blend those two so that we can make decisions and create actions that we're doing or choices that we're making with more information or more value for moment-to-moment living. So, this topic. Do you find or do you know somebody that runs away from all intense situations, all chaotic situations, or they never gossip? I never gossip, huh? Or they never promote chaos. And you want to look if it's you, look at your life, look at this other individual's life, and you can say, do they have a peace-filled life? They never gossip. They don't get around anybody that's chaotic. They stay away from all of that stuff. They probably are not experiencing inner peace. So it's just another portion of our journey. It's just another type of behavior in the grand scheme of things. So when a person lives a life running away from all intense communications or any personality that seems to be very strong, or perhaps just basic situations in their life, that isn't going to bring peace. They're living in a state of fear, a fear of the past or perhaps of the future. It's usually a combination of both. And it isn't a peaceful way to be. What happens is that when they do experience emotion, it feels raw to them. It is too in their face. So what they do is they'll build walls of protection to keep away all emotion, to keep away any raw feelings or any feelings that are just so big, because they have a history of big energies mean bad things will happen. Usually from childhood, but it can be as an adult. Sure. So what you want to do, if this is you or if this is a good friend of yours, is understand that building walls to control pain or to control relationship is not going to create inner peace. Walls cause physical energy loss. You're exhausted because you're constantly making sure that the walls are perfect, that there's no holes in it. And if you find a hole, you run back and you patch it. Reducing the walls is not necessarily an easy thing to do, because every time you have, or this individual has, you were hit with energy that did not make you happy. It brought back memories of some negative occurrence. Anytime a person like this tries to look over the wall and engage and come out of their shell, they're attracting the energy that they were trying to avoid. So it's not going to be a good experience. And again, it's not that these people do it or that you do it with the intention, I'm going to build walls, I am not going to expose myself to anything. It's just a very slow process that just happens to you. This cocoon just totally surrounds you, and you didn't even realize you were doing it. But now you've chosen to try something new, something safe. Your guidance, your higher self guidance has always been there. It never leaves. It's just that when you are in a cocoon, you're not in a position to ask for guidance. Because truly you feel that you're doing it. You're taking care of business. You're in a cocoon. Nobody can hurt you. No emotion can get in here. However, you're limiting yourself because the guidance of your higher self or your soul self or the Holy Spirit can bring you to a place of such joy in a calm and slow fashion that you would be absolutely surprised. Now, if you're not in the cocoon yourself, you can't see through eyes of joy. You cannot feel peace. Because while you're in the cocoon, there's all this turmoil going on because you're keeping those walls up and you're being so attentive to those walls. Your focus is always on yourself. Your focus isn't on compassion of others. Your focus is not bringing joy to the world. Your focus is not on anything but you and the fear that you feel towards energy. Isn't that cool? You can actually figure this out. You can actually go, wow, I didn't realize that. Well, I got to chew on that for a minute. And by all means do. But know that if you can connect to your higher self by taking a breath and vibrating, finding that energy, that joy, the compassion, those feelings have to be for yourself first. The value that you place on your own life, the compassion, the joy, the amazement of life has to be internal before you can share any of this. Now, if you have a friend that lives this way, I can tell you, they will not be able to hear you tell them that they have a wall built up. Now, they can hear it, the words, obviously, but they won't be able to understand where you're coming from. And it will be an emotional, aggressive energy coming to them, and they will reinforce their wall and go on about their merry way. People have to understand your energy as their friend, as a consistent, non-judgmental companionship. When they have that feeling, their walls come down just a little bit, and they can see you for what you are as their friend. When their walls come down, you can't say, hey, your walls are coming down. And they go right back up. I mean, that's natural. Non-judgmental companionship. That's what you can offer. And when they're in your presence, they might begin to feel a joyful energy that makes them want to put their toe out, their hand, eventually their head. It is a state of being. It happens all over the world. People live their entire life like this. And so as a person living this way, so be it. It is a life. If you have a friend that lives this way, so be it. It is a life. You and I do not change other people. People have to embrace a desire for change. And then they have to build up a passion to find that change. And then they have to build them up a relationship with their environment that brings them enough joy and enough positive reinforcement that they can continue on their path. And if somebody's walls pop back up, they'll come down again. If this is you, don't worry if your walls pop back up because you were exposed to something that you just couldn't handle. Fine. Think about it. Think about were you really in danger? Or was that your past self that was in danger? Just think about it. Lovingly embrace the feeling that popped up that made the walls go back up, until you can look at it and see it for what it truly is. The past isn't in your hand. It doesn't exist. But you have to slowly accept that yourself. You have to feel the pull out of a cocoon into a world that is truly joyful. Thank you for being with me today. I hope this resonated with you. Leave comments or email me. I enjoy either of those. I will send love and light specifically to those of you in pain like this. And to love to your path and to your own personal joys. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.